Carl Levin, Senator John McCain. They've done an extraordinary job on the defense authorization bill. And I would say that by and large, this bill would not have engendered the controversy that brings us to the floor today, but for this provision, because it is a critically important provision which has drawn the attention not just of those in the military community, which they of course would expect in a defense authorization bill, but also the attention of those in the intelligence community and the law enforcement community across the United States, as well as the President of the United States. The provision which they include in this bill is a substantial and dramatic departure in American law when it comes to fighting terrorism. Who opposes this provision? I'll tell you who opposes it. Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta, who passed out of this chamber with a 100-0 vote of confidence in his leadership, has told us, don't do this. This is a mistake in this provision. Secondly, the law enforcement community, from Attorney General Eric Holder to the Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, have told us this is a mistake to pass this measure, to limit our ability to fight terrorism. And the intelligence community as well, the Director of National Intelligence, tells us this is a mistake. So is it any wonder that Senator Udall comes to the floor and others join him from both sides of the aisle, saying before you make this serious change in policy in America, ask ourselves, have we considered the impact this will have on our nation's security, our ability to interrogate witnesses, and our commitment to constitutional principles? When I take a look at the letter that was sent to us by the Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Robert Mueller, I have to reflect on the fact that Director Mueller was appointed by President George W. Bush and reappointed by President Barack Obama. I respect him very much. He has warned the Senate, do not pass this provision in the defense authorization bill. It may adversely impact, and I quote, our ability to continue ongoing international terrorism investigation. If this provision had been offered by a Democrat under Republican George W. Bush, the critics would have come to the floor and said, how could you possibly tie the hands of the President when he is trying to keep America safe? The Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation has made it clear that the passage of this provision in this bill will limit the flexibility of the administration to combat terrorism. It'll create uncertainty for law enforcement, intelligence, and defense officials regarding how to handle suspected terrorists and raise serious constitutional concerns. Listen, all of those things are worthy of debate. Were it not for the record that for 10 years America has been safe. It has been safe because of a Republican president and a Democratic president using the forces at hand to keep us safe. If we were coming here with some record of failure when it comes to keeping America safe, it's one thing. But we have a record of positive success. And this notion that there is no way to keep America safe without military tribunals and commissions defies logic and defies experience. Since 9/11, over 300 suspected terrorists have been successfully prosecuted in Article III criminal courts in America. Yes, they've been read their Miranda rights, and yes, they have been prosecuted and sent to prison. The most recent being the underwear bomber who pled guilty just weeks ago in the Article III criminal courts. During the same period of time, when it comes to military commissions and tribunals, how many alleged terrorists have been convicted? 6. The score, my friends, if you're paying attention, is 300 to 6. President Bush and President Obama used our Article III criminal courts effectively to keep America safe, and in those instances where they felt military tribunals could do it best, they turned to them with some success. And I might add to those who want to just change the law again when it comes to military tribunals. This is the third try. Twice we have tried to write the language on military tribunals and commissions. It's been sent ultimately across the street to the Supreme Court and rejected. They told us start over. Do we want to risk that again? Do we want to jeopardize the prosecution of an alleged terrorist because we want to test out a new legal and constitutional theory? I hope not. I think we ought to give to every president, Democrat and Republican, all the tools and all the weapons they need to keep America safe. Tying their hands on the floor of the United States Senate may give us some satisfaction for a moment, but it won't keep America safe.